All right, welcome to Money Miracles. I'm so excited to have you ladies here today. I know a lot of you are going to be catching the replay, and that is perfectly okay. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm super excited. I've been like waiting to tap with you today. So if you are brand new to me or brand new to the work that I do, my vision for creating this specific event is honestly just gathering like-minded women in one space where we can come together and do some tapping around our money goals. And for me, this was something that I always wanted, but never could seem to find, or it was like thousands of dollars to be able to attend. So that is why this space in particular is just such a, it's like, it's on my heart, right? Like I think that more women need access to things like this for free, so that they can have a space to come to really work on their money goals and the things that they want to achieve in their life and their business. So what I want to say is that this experience is yours, right? Like I'm literally creating this for you. So I'm going to be guiding you through tapping based on answers that you share with me in real time. So obviously for those of you that are catching the replay, unfortunately you're not going to be able to participate too much, but that's okay. You can always catch the next one of these that I do. But what I want to say is the more you engage with me in the chat, the more this is going to be tailored to you. Okay. Now, with that being said, obviously, I want you to only share the level of things that you feel comfortable sharing, if at all. Okay. So this is going to be tailored to you specifically. And as for the agenda, honestly, it's really simple. We're just going to dive into three different pieces around money goals. And this is the exact thing that I take myself through every single month. And when I'm really trying to achieve a certain money goal, or honestly, obviously we're focusing on money, but you can use this same process for any goal that you're working towards. Maybe it could be weight or relationships or being a better parent, right? It can literally be used for anything. We just happen to be focusing on money for this. So what we're going to do, we're going to identify your unique goal, and then we're going to uncover some of the resistance around it. And that's just going to be through specific prompts that I have for you. And then based on what you feel willing to share, then we'll do some tapping and hopefully start to shift the energy and the way that you feel around money, and specifically so that we can attract more to us. So first things first, I think I always put this in here whenever I'm doing a tapping slide, but so far everybody that has signed up, with maybe the exception a couple people, are familiar with tapping, which is great and makes me so happy. So I'm not even going to go into the whole spiel of like what it is and how it works, because you already know that. If you're here, it's a really good chance that you are already familiar with that. So let me know. Are you ready to dive? I'm telling you, like we are just going to start straight in, because I would rather spend our time tapping than me talking, because that's how you're going to get the most out of this experience. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing that I want to ask you, and again, this is obviously going to be around money, but if you feel a different goal that's coming up for you, you can absolutely share that as well. So the first thing that we want to get clear on is just asking yourself, like, how much money would I love to make this month? Okay. I apologize in advance for the chickens. It is lunchtime here. I did not feed them, which was probably a mistake. So they're literally like outside clucking. But I just like to think that they're coming to say hi to us. So if you're watching the replay, what I recommend doing is having a journal and writing this down also. So literally write out either in your journal or in the chat, I would love to make blank amount this month. Okay. Now you don't have to, we're not at the point yet where you're worrying about how this money would come to you, or how you're going to make it, or where you're going to find it at. And also for those of you who are in a relationship and or married, whatever that looks like for you, it can also be combined. So some people I know like to think of their finances as a combined unit, whereas other people like to look at it as individuals. So whatever feels good and true for you around money, you just want to make sure that you're clear, okay, on what that is. And the more specific of a number, the better. Okay. All right. So from here, let me know if you feel, hopefully, well, I'll take a moment and I'll give you a moment to make sure that you have that number in your head. Because again, that's going to really help determine the next step. And that's where we're going to spend the most time, is really starting to uncover, I like to call it the resistance, uncover the resistance around you being able to make more money. Okay, so one of the things I like to start by asking is, I can't make that amount of money because. Okay, so just whatever comes up for you around this, right? Sometimes it's really practical things of like, I can't make that amount because I don't have a job, or I'm not working, or nobody's buying my offers, or the economy, right? So many things can come up around this. So let's do that first. What comes up around why you wouldn't be able to make that amount this month? And something I shared is that resistance is simply just thoughts and beliefs that we're holding on to, maybe sometimes stories around a specific thing, right? And so what's interesting when it comes to money is that this resistance, the thoughts, stories, beliefs, maybe even memories that we have around it, it literally keeps us from making more of it, which is so crazy, right? Like, it is so crazy. But I like to think of it this way. Like, if you think of a seesaw, remember those from back in the day on the playgrounds? If you have on one side that you really want to make money, right? And you're excited about money and you know what you would do with money and all the things, right? But then on the other side, you have all the reasons that tell you why you can't make it, why it's going to be hard, why you couldn't do it, or why you don't deserve it. Just again, all the stuff that comes up, right? That side 9 times out of 10 is going to win because there's more weight to it, right? There's more junk on that side, right? Like, there's just more stuff. There's more weight. That's probably the proper thing. Whereas the other side of like, hey, I would love to make this amount of money, there's not as much weight or evidence backing that up. So hopefully that visual helped you. So what comes up around why you can't make that amount? And then what I love to do specifically for tapping is asking yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how true does this feel for you? Okay, so if you say, I can't make it because I don't know how, right? Or I can't make it because the economy, right? That's a common one that I've been hearing lately. How true does that feel, right? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it feels really, really true, and 1 being it's not even an issue. So feel free to take a moment and tune in and see where that is for you. And again, this is just simply measuring your, I guess, a level of resistance, right? Around a specific topic or around a specific piece, around money, right? And again, money is so nuanced. Like, this is one of my favorite topics because there's so many layers and there's so many pieces to it that really make up the whole, right? And it's like, that contributes to the bigger picture. So feel free to share, if you feel comfortable doing so, what comes up around why you wouldn't be able to make that amount of money. And we'll use that in our tapping. So once we've got that, then I like to really look at the body. And I ask myself, where in my body do I feel this resistance? And if you've never done this before, you might feel really weird. It might be really foreign. But I want to encourage you to just take a moment, close your eyes, literally tune in, and just ask yourself, where do I feel this resistance around money in my body? And go with the first thing that comes up. Okay, so a lot of times things I hear are, I feel it in my shoulders, I feel it in my stomach, I feel it in my back, I feel it in my neck, right? And the reason that these are so incredibly powerful is that it hold on, we've got somebody coming in. Yay, exciting. Hi, Jackie, welcome. The reason that this is so important is because you want to figure out that mind body connection, right? And so our bodies hold on to things that we don't even fully realize that are there, which is so powerful and so amazing, especially when it comes to things like making more money. So what comes up around, Jackie, I'll fill you in really quick. So what we're doing is we are identifying our current monthly income goal. Okay, I'll back up really quick. So if you feel comfortable and you're able to do so, I'd love for you to share in the chat and just say, how much money would you love to make this month? Now, this can be a stretch goal. It can be just your normal amount that you're used to making, whatever that is for you. Feel free to, again, share it in the chat if you feel comfortable. We'll use the information that you share when it comes to the tapping. And then the second part, so once you know how much money you would love to bring in this month, and again, I was sharing that this could be either combined if you have a spouse, or if you look at your family unit as a whole, or it could be you specifically, how much you're bringing in. And then from there, we really look at what comes up around why you can't make that amount of money. So is it, again, there's a lot of like silly little things. Like I can't make it because I'm not good enough. I can't make it because I don't know how. And then from there, we want to identify how true does this feel for us? So how true does that resistance feel? Does it at an 8 or a 9 where it feels like, yes, this is my truth. This is why I wouldn't be able to make more money? Or is it just a little bit, right? Is it maybe like a 4 or a 5? Jackie says, I would love to bring home 10,000 between me and my husband. I love this. I love this. I love this. Perfect. Thank you for sharing. So 10,000 between you and your husband. Beautiful. Does anything come up for you around why that wouldn't be able to happen? And what I find is that when we try to stretch ourselves a little bit, right? So like, let's say normally you make 8,000. Again, I'm just totally using this as an example, and you're kind of stretching yourself to that 10,000, right? This is where we tend to come against some of that resistance, right? Of reasons that tell us why we wouldn't be able to make that. So we want to identify what those are. That's like that is the magic right there, is finding those things, finding the pieces that that tell us why we couldn't make that money. Megan said, oh, I love the sevens. I didn't even read it. I just saw all the sevens. I personally want to bring home, I love that, $7,777 per month on my own. I don't have a job. Perfect. Perfect, right? So it's like, hey, I got these big goals, but also like not really sure how that would actually happen, right? So perfect. I love this. So from there, just identifying where in your body you feel any resistance, right? So like that feeling of like, I don't have a job, right? Or I don't know how I would actually bring that money in. Like, what does that even look like? Identifying if that is anywhere specific in your body. And then this is a really, really powerful question, and one that gets me every single time when I'm doing this work on myself. And that is, I'll say you, like, what do I need to let go of in order to step into my money goal? Okay, so sit with that for a minute. What would I need to let go of in order to hit my money goal? And I would love for you to share in the chat what comes up for you around that. So it could be like, actually, I mean, I could open up my journal and tell you what I put specifically, but I think it was like, I need to let go of the doubt. I need to let go of uncertainty, right? These are like literally personal ones from my journal. Fear comes up, right? So it's what would I need to let go of in order to achieve this money goal? I'll give you ladies just a moment. And then we're going to start shifting into how you want to feel with money. And then we're going to use all this information and do some really fun tapping. So I'm excited. Yeah, doubt and fear. Yeah. I'm going to get my piece of paper so that I can jot these down for us. That's again, literally, if I were to open up my journal right now, those were the ones that came up for me. So, and you don't have to necessarily answer this unless you want to. Let's dig just a tiny, tiny bit deeper. So I have this doubt and fear around what, right? Or I have this doubt and fear because what is attached to that doubt and fear? Feel free to share that if you feel comfortable, because it's like, we're just going a little bit deeper, right? And again, if you don't feel comfortable, it's totally fine. We can still work with the doubt and the fear. But you ladies are here. You made time and space to be here. So I want to make sure that you get all that you can. So we'll say doubt and fear. Megan said, I feel it in my throat and chest. Isn't that so powerful? Like, it's fascinating to me how we hold on to those things. And for women specifically, throat is a lot of like power, right? Like your throat chakra, your throat area, speaking up, being empowered, all of those things. So that's really, that one it's common, right? That throat stuff tends to come up around money. Jackie says, because it always seems to, yes. Oh my gosh. We literally tapped on this in my membership literally just on Monday. This was the theme in the membership as well. So Jackie, you are not alone. It always seems to be 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. Perfect. So again, I'll take it, I'll take it a little bit deeper. If it only if and willing, only if you're willing to go there. So we finally get ahead and then life happens. Okay, and how does that make you feel? Okay, so that feeling of like, gosh, we finally get ahead, we finally like take some steps forward, we get some momentum going, and then inevitably something happens, right? Which I'm not trying to turn this into a whole money training because we're here to tap, but there's a reason that that's happening, and it's the wealth set point. Um, I think Megan's heard me talk about this before. It's so powerful. It's essentially that we are programmed to earn a certain amount of money or have a certain amount of money. And when we go past that threshold, so like when we have a good month, when we, some amazing things, miracles happen, right? Money miracles happen. And then inevitably an unexpected bill comes, or just something crazy comes, or, something that causes us to spend almost that extra money that we just received, right? So a wealth set point, its job is to literally keep us at the same amount of money indefinitely. So if we go above that, it's like it causes us to spend so that we get back down. And then if we go under it on the inverse, thank goodness, it usually happens where something happens and we get a little bit of money, right? So it can go both ways, but its sole job is like just keeping us right there at that same amount every, decades. I'm telling you, it is. And it's innate, right? It's ingrained. That's not something that you even said, like, hey, this is my wealth set point, right? Like most people aren't even familiar with it, but that's what's happening deeper underneath the surface. Okay, Megan says, I don't know which direction or career plan to go towards. Yep, totally have felt that before. I have a 5-year-old son. Is he 5 already? Oh my goodness. I got to wrap my head around that. Wow. I did not know he was 5 already. Nobody to help babysit him, and my husband works 7 days a week, tax time. So I need the flexibility in my schedule. Yeah, to accommodate that instead of adhering to a job. I am with you. We need that flexibility. We need to work from home, and we also need to make a lot of money and also be a mom and be there for our children. In my case, my fur babies, I have lots of them. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, ladies. So we've got a little bit of wealth set point happening. We've got I'm just jotting this down so I can make sure to include it in our tapping. So we'll say 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And then we've got some uncertainty. And feel free as I'm writing this down, if anything else is coming up for either of you around money or being able to make more of it or having it and then spending it, if anything is coming up, feel free to share that and I will include that as well. We're going to say uncertainty. All right, and let me ask you one more question, and then we're going to move into more of the how we want to feel with money and the experience that we want to have. We want to be hitting that 10,000. We want that 7,777. Let me ask you this, on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, I love the measuring because that helps us see in real time like how things are shifting. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how true does it feel that you would be able to achieve that income goal this month? Okay, so think about the money goal that you have. How true on a scale of 1 to 10? So for this, it would be 10 feels really, really true. 10 feels like it's already happening. You already have that amount lined up. And the scale is a little bit different. And then 1 would be like 10% if you think about it. So like 2 would be 20%, right? 3 would be 30% of having believability that this is going to happen for you. So let me know that. Yeah, Megan. Okay, so perfect. Yeah, I switched up the scale a little bit on you there. Sorry about that. I made it a little confusing. So essentially, if I like to think about this one in terms of like percentages, so like 100% means yes, on true, or on true. I'm on board. It feels true, all the things, right? And 1 being like, I would love it, but it doesn't really feel like it's true. Okay, cool. Hello, Cindy. Good to have you pop on. Perfect timing because we're getting ready to, we haven't done our tapping yet. So you're perfect timing for that to be able to enjoy. So let's talk about really quickly how, yes, literally perfect timing, of course. How do you want to feel about money? Okay, this one is so powerful because we just uncovered a lot of things that we already feel around money. So, Cindy, just to catch you up really quick, we identified our money goal. So, how much we would love to make this month. And then we identified the resistance around it, right? So, the stories that come up around why that couldn't or shouldn't happen for whatever reason that is. So feel free if you want. I know I'm like throwing a lot at you, but feel free to share if anything comes up for you in the chat around like why specifically why you wouldn't be able to hit your money goal. And then um the next thing that I asked them was on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being 100%, 1 being 10%, so not very high, how true does it feel that you would be able to achieve that money goal this month? So again, if it's like a yeah, like I want to make $10,000 and I feel 100% confident and certain that this is happening, or I would love to make $10,000 and I feel 20% confident that it could happen, meaning there's a lot of gap, right, between where you are and where you want to be. And again, that's why I like the numbers because it helps us measure in real time. Because we can sit here and say all day long, like, I mean, shoot, I'd like $20,000, right? 30,000. I mean, I would love to have big numbers, but how realistic does that actually feel for me? You know what I mean? It's a different energy. It taps into a different part. So feel free to share anything that you would like just around money or any resistance, thoughts, beliefs that are coming up around that. And then, because we'll use it for the tapping. And then I want you to also, I'm like crash coursing it, cramming it all in for you. How do you want to feel about money? And this is the really fun part, right? And so I'm going to take you through a process in our tapping where we really start to release all the things that came up around our money goals. And then I like to empower you and help you shift into what you desire to feel about money, right? Because that's the energy that we want to be in. I mean, when you think about manifestation and energetics and law of attraction and all of that, the better we can feel about money for longer periods of time, right? That's when magic really starts to happen and you start to attract amazing opportunities. Um, Oh, hi, Leo. Hello. I see, I only pinned myself, so I can't see you. Hello. Hi. See, this is why I should have had all of you. Hi, Leo.
Yeah.
Hi. Here, let me unpin myself so
Hey,
I want to.
I
Oh,
got
I
this
see
TV.
you. You look so handsome today.
Yeah, I got TV in my room.
Okay, we gotta let her get back to the class now. Okay.
Tell him I want to hear him play his drums. Leo, I want to hear you play your drums sometime, okay? We love it. Thank you for telling me. I was just in my own little vortex. So thank you for letting me know. Okay, so let me come back. Jackie says I want to breathe, I want to live and give without stressing every single day. Okay, so we'll say like I feel like the word that comes to me for that is ease, right? Like I want to feel ease. Like when I think of like breathing and things just being like easy and effortless, that's the word that comes. So we'll say I want ease. Okay, Cindy says oh my gosh, of course. And then the second one I go to is Cindy says I want to be at ease. I love synchronicities, I tell you. I want to be at ease receiving more money and can feel the feeling of surprise. Yes, isn't that such a fun energy to be in? When a check shows up, someone buys my product. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Well, Jackie, you and Cindy are right on par there with that ease of receiving however it wants to come, right? And this is totally applicable for Megan as well, because the truth is, like, this is one of the most life-changing things that I've learned about money is that two things. One, it's going to come through the path of least resistance. Okay. So you might have heard me say this before, especially if you've done any of my money courses, but it's going to come in the path of least resistance. And what I mean by that is oftentimes we have kind of like strict rules, right, around how it's going to come in. Like we most often think, oh, it's going to come through my job, right, or my spouse, or whatever that might be. It's like we are kind of determining the path that it's going to come through for us. And the reality is that's not usually the case. I mean, it can be, of course, but I have this fun story that I always like to share of I was going for a huge money goal. This was, I think, like 2 summers ago, maybe. Um, yeah, I think it was 2 summers ago. I was going for the massive money goal, right? Doing the work that I'm taking you through right now. And of course, there was resistance and stuff that came up around it. But, and I cannot make this up, my mom sends me a text message, okay, literally out of nowhere. And she was like, hey, like I'm cashing in some insurance policy or something that I've had on you since you were a little kid. And like, I'm going to cash it out and I'm going to send you the money. Okay. This was thousands of dollars. Okay. I didn't even know this insurance policy existed, to be quite honest. Like, I just didn't know. Like, I just didn't know. And the fact that she decided to like cash it out because she was still like paying into it every month. And she's probably like, you're a grown woman now. Like, I'm not spending any more money on you. But what a fun example, right? I didn't know how that money was going to come. Never in a million years did I think that it would come through that avenue, right? So it's that fun excitement energy that Cindy was talking about of like being open, right? Being like allowing yourself to be surprised. And not that it's going to come through a family member or an insurance something, right? But again, just a fun example of like money is out there. And I had zero resistance around that because I didn't even know it existed. So anyways, hopefully that helps you build a little bit of belief around the possibility that it can truly come in a multitude of ways, which is so cool. Let me see. Okay, Megan says I need to be free of lack mentality. It is for a lot of people, by the way. It's so ingrained in my brain from a child of a single mother that works. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Okay. I feel that one. I seriously, I feel that one. Let me tell you, I was raised by a single mom with 2 kids. So, and the whole thing, right? I get it. I get it. I get it. Um, Cindy says, when I expect it to come in a certain way or time, that's when I feel strong. I'm telling you, isn't that wild? And again, and this is more in like a business aspect or a job, right? Of like, when we know it's coming, there's not really stress around it. But when we have to wonder or worry or question, how is this going to come? Where is it going to come? When is it going to, all the things, right? Who, what, when, where, how, all the question words. That's when it's like, it almost creates an anxiety. Well, I guess I'm speaking for myself, but almost that anxiousness of like, I don't know how. It's like, and then it creates the doubt, right? And it takes away the fun from it. Like, money should be fun. Megan says, I'm convinced I will be on the street, which is not true, but it feels so real. And I can never truly, I can never truly live in I was going to say, my mind went to the peace before I even got to the peace. Okay. So, when we anchor into how we want to feel, I have ease, but I also want to add peace. And I want to add safety in there as well. Okay. Cindy says, yes, exactly. So again, this is about money miracles, right? And so this is something that is so important to me of just an energy to embody, right? Of like, how do I want to feel about money, right? Well, I want to feel at peace, right? I want to feel at ease. I want to feel as though it's fun. Like, it is so fun to get an unexpected check in the mail or somebody unexpectedly, giving you an insurance policy that I'm like kind of joking about that one now, but it's possible, right? And that's the energy that we want to be in, because that's going to create opportunities for that to show up for us. Okay. So when it comes to money, I would like to feel, let me know if you ladies want to add anything to this. So we want to feel at ease. We want to feel, at peace. We want to feel, I added in the safety, because safety is so huge, right? Like, money is dare I say, like a fundamental need, right? Like, it is not a luxury. It is at this point, like, we need money in order to survive, right? And so if we don't feel like there's enough, or there's not going to be enough, or it's going to run out, right? That is a direct detriment to our basic needs, right? Of like, okay, well, if it runs out, then I'm not going to be able to pay for my house or my car or my daycare or my groceries or whatever it might be. So anytime that is present, we really want to do a lot of forgiveness work, do a lot of releasing, and create that safety, right? Because no matter what, we want to know that we're going to be good, right? And then from that space, it's like then we can build on and attract more and create more and all the things. But when that fundamental need is at risk, right? Even if it's just like in our head and we know it's not true, but it's still there, it's really hard for us to create. It's like a deficit, right? It's like if you're in the hole in your bank account, it feels really hard to then go to like, oh, I'm have a ton and I have a ton of savings also, right? It's like that's a really big jump. So going from that deficit to just kind of even neutral or normal, and then from there, it's easier to build on. So hopefully that makes sense. Something else I wanted to ask you ladies, this was such a fun activity. Again, I literally have my journal next to me, and Cindy knows I'm a huge journal all the time, but I was writing down this, actually, I'll just open it. You guys get the real and the raw deal here. So as I'm opening this, I would love for you to share in the chat, like fill in the blank, I'm wealthy because, right? And it doesn't actually have to be money. This is what's so powerful. So for me, it was like, I'm wealthy because I have a beautiful home, right? I'm wealthy because I have an amazing marriage, right? I'm wealthy because I get to freaking work for myself, right? I'm wealthy because actually, I mean, again, I'll open mine, but I wanted to give you guys some inspiration there, but just share in the chat, like, why are you already wealthy? And again, these are all about energetic shifts around money, because going back to that deficit example, if we feel like we don't have enough or it's going to run out or we're anxious or worried about how it's going to come to us, that doesn't feel very fun, or it's not an energetic match, right? So let me open mine up and I'll share. I want to hear some of yours too. Okay. I'm wealthy because I already said most of these, but I'm wealthy because I run my own business and work from home. I'm wealthy because I have an amazing husband and marriage. I'm wealthy because I live in Hawaii. I'm wealthy because I'm smart, resilient, and capable. I'm wealthy because I get to make amazing offers and get paid. I am wealthy because I get paid to be me, right? Like, how freaking fun is that, right? And again, like, taking some of the power off of money specifically in terms of us desiring it and anchoring more into why we're already wealthy now. Okay, this is like law of attraction, manifestation 101. Like what we feel, what we put out, we're going to get more back of. So if we already feel wealthy, this is like a hack. Like this is like a manifestation money hack. If we already feel wealthy now, it's going to be easier to attract more opportunities and circumstances to us to then compound, right? To add to that. So share in the chat. Why are you ladies wealthy already today here? And notice none of mine had like even specific numbers attached to it, right? I didn't talk about how much is in the bank or how much I make or any of that. It was just an energy of like, I already have so many blessings and amazing, wonderful things happening in my life already. So I would love to hear, why are you wealthy already in this present moment? And then we're going to shift into tapping and anchor some of this, and we're going to let go of some of the resistance, and we're going to anchor in more of that ease, more of that peace, more of that safety. Cindy says, I do with that. I do with that. I love my kids are healthy. I have freedom to travel. I'm physically fit and healthy, have amazing people in my life. Isn't that amazing? Like, it's so, I think you're saying I do that with love. It's so, but like to translate that to like, think of how many people would be out there desiring those same exact things, right? It's like, and if to take it a step further, if you think about it, why do we want the money, right? What are we going to do with the money? Right. Well, for me, so much of it goes back into our farm and our land and our home, right? And our animals. So it's like, for me to give gratitude for those things now, it's like symbolic of like, okay, well, the wealthy version of me, right? The wealthier version of me is pouring back into my home, is pouring back into our farm, is pouring back into our animals, right? Is pouring back into eating healthy, right? And so it's so like when you can make that connection of like, gosh, the things I would be spending the money on are most of the time I already have or I'm close to having. Right now, of course, there's some things like we really want a tractor, right? I don't know if you guys have ever priced a tractor. They're insane, like 100 grand for a freaking tractor is wild. So it's like we don't yet have that, but we have all the things that are on the track for us to get that, right? Megan says, I'm wealthy because I have freedom in my schedule to accommodate my son and anyone else. Isn't that so beautiful? It like sink that in for a moment. Like just allow your body to sink into that. Like, do you realize that gosh, there was a day like when I was working as a therapist, all I freaking wanted was to be able to have more freedom and to work from home and to be at home. Like that was all I wanted. It wasn't even so much about the money at that point. It was like I just wanted the freedom to make my own schedule and choose, you know what I mean? So it's like, gosh, that so much of what we already have, other people would love to have. You know what I mean? So it's like, gosh, we are already so wealthy in so many areas. I'm wealthy because I'm healthy. Yes, I'm wealthy because yes, a beautiful home and food. Isn't this beautiful? Like, gosh, doesn't that just feel so much better? Jackie says, I'm wealthy because I have a loving family. I'm loving this, by the way. I'm wealthy because I have a body that allows me to walk and talk and laugh and love. Yes, 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 yes. No kidding, Megan. It's still a lot, though. It is still a lot. Cindy says, yes, more money is freedom to yes. And that's the thing, right? Like when you really yes, like yes. I love it when it like connects and it starts to make sense. So for Cindy, for example, she loves to travel, right? So it's like more money equals more traveling, right? More like expanding on the wonderful things that we already have, right? Okay. Whew, got all excited about that one. That was so good. I love, and again, you can tap into this exercise anytime, right? Literally tap or, figuratively. Okay, so let's do some tapping. I'm really excited for this. Now, I can't see you. Right now, I have only my video pinned. So if you want to turn your camera off, you can. If you want to leave it on, you can. I'm not going to be able to see you either way, but it's just about what you feel the most safe and comfortable with. So if it just is kind of weird that somebody somewhere could maybe see you, feel free to turn it off for this. And what I want to do again is just walk us through a little bit of gentle tapping around some of the things that we've talked about today. Really letting go of some of this doubt, some of this fear, some of this lack mentality. We'll bring in a little bit of wealth set point, the uncertainty. This is why I write it down because I would have forgot half of that by now. And then we're going to anchor in the things that we desire. Okay, cool. All right, let me know in the chat. Are you ready to do some tapping? Do you feel like you're good? And or if you have anything else that you want to add to my list, now is the time to speak up so that I can make sure it's on there. And remember to tune into your number, right? So how believable. So once you had your money goal and then you asked yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, what percentage does that feel doable? So does it feel 100% doable? Like you absolutely have your money goals and you're going to achieve them? Or does it feel, is there a little like maybe 50-50, like 50% it could happen, 50% not? Have that number in your mind and let me know. I'll give you just a moment because I know sometimes it's hard to type, especially if you're on a phone. So I'll give you just another second and then we'll begin our tapping. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So if it feels safe and good to do so, go ahead and close your eyes. And from this space, let's go ahead and take a nice cleansing breath. So breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Beautiful job. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. And we're going to begin tapping on your karate chop point. And I just want you to lightly tap. It doesn't matter if it's on the right one or the left one. And just repeat after me and say, even though there's a part of me that has some fear and doubt around my money goal, and whether or not this could actually happen for me. I am choosing to love and forgive myself anyways. Beautiful job staying on that karate chop point. And even though there's a part of me that's uncertain about whether or not I would be able to make this amount of money, I am choosing to love and forgive myself today. Make sure you're breathing as we are tapping. Last time on the karate chop point. And even though there's a part of me that feels stuck at my current amount of income, whether that's a little bit or a lot, whatever it is, if there's any part of me that feels stuck, and like I can't seem to open up the money floodgates, I'm choosing to honor that this is the way I currently feel. All right, beautiful job. We're going to move to our eyebrow point, just lightly tapping. The truth is, there's something that's blocking me around money. Side of the eye. The fact that I have a money goal under the eye and I'm not yet making that amount under the nose is proof that something is getting in the way. Chin point, maybe it's fear that it could happen. Collarbone point, maybe it's stress of how or when that money would come. Under the arm, maybe it's my wealth set point. Top of the head, which simply means anytime I move forward and get ahead, eyebrow point, something always causes me to take 2 steps back. Side of the eye, it's like I can never get ahead no matter what. Under the eye, and I'm ready to let this go today. Under the nose, any fear, chin point, any doubt, collarbone point, any uncertainty, under the arm. I'm letting it go today. Top of the head, because the truth is, I do have money goals. Eyebrow point, and I would love for it to feel so much more easy than it does. Side of the eye, I want to feel safe and secure when it comes to money. Under the eye, trusting and believing that it's always, always, always there for me. Under the nose, and letting go of any past memories or stories that tell me otherwise. Chin point. It is safe to be wealthy. Collarbone point. In fact, in a lot of ways, I already am wealthy. Under the arm, I'm wealthy because I have freedom in my life and in my schedule. Top of the head, I'm wealthy because I'm healthy. Eyebrow point, I'm wealthy because I'm here today tapping. Side of the eye, I'm wealthy because I have food in my refrigerator. Under the eye, I am wealthy because I have people that love me. Under the nose, in so many ways, I'm already living such a rich life. Chin point, and I'm just gonna allow myself to expand that feeling throughout my body. Collarbone point, this feeling that I'm already wealthy now. Under the arm, but I desire to add on and have even more. Top of the head, it is safe to desire more. Eyebrow point, it is safe to earn more than I currently am, whatever that might be. Side of the eye, but knowing that I'm already wealthy now. Under the eye, which is only going to attract more wealth to me. Under the nose, I'm open and ready to receive. Chin point, and I'm ready and willing for it to be easy. Collarbone point, I'm ready and willing for it to be peaceful. Under the arm, I'm ready and willing to trust that money will always be there for me. Top of the head, and today I choose to believe that I'm a wealthy woman. All right, beautiful job, ladies. Let me know, how are you feeling after that? Did it bring up anything? If you've got any water or any healthy hydrating beverages, now is a great time to drink those. And I would love for you to share in the chat if you feel good to do so. How are you feeling? Any lighter? Did anything come up? Sometimes specific memories, specific stories. Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes it will come. I always like, yeah, so there's a reason for that. It's your energy, the energy in your body is shifting. And that's not me like making that up, like some hokey thing. It literally, like the science behind it, it's sending calming signals to your amygdala, which is a part of your brain. And when I could go really deep here. For so many of us, money is such a kind of stressful, tense topic, right? And so it allows us to kind of be on guard a little bit that when we're in that stressed and anxious space. So tapping, literally, it like tells the body that like, like I can relax now. And so that's when a lot of people will yawn. Some people will actually get really tired and like want to go nap afterwards. Fantastic though. It means your energy is shifting and that's what we want, right? That's the whole like we want it to move, we want it to shift. Release to receive. We want to release that, some of the old stuff so we can bring in some of the new. Feeling more calm. I love that. Yeah, lots of yawning today. I love that. I yawned as soon as isn't that amazing? And it's like literally well, and that's why I always love to connect it to where are we holding on to that in our bodies, right? And so the minute we begin to tap, literally, it's like our body is like, like it literally tells the body it's safe. Um, literally. And so that's why it's like it allows us to feel like we can take that breath and take that rest or whatever it might be. Cindy says more money. Yes, felt very possible. I love it. While we were tapping, I feel like I'll have to do this tapping kind of regularly. Yes, 100%, 100%. And see, here's the interesting thing with money. So what we did today, right? So like the 3-step thing, this is something, again, depending on how like diligent you want to be, this is literally something you could do every day. Obviously not to this like huge blown out degree, but in my journal, this is something I'll check in with when I'm really like intentional about it. I do it a lot more frequently, right? So literally I just might write down in my journal what it could look like is like this month I am aiming to make $10,000, right? Let's just say that this month I'm aiming to make $10,000. But I can't because, right? So like I literally take myself, well, I can't because it's already almost halfway through the month, right? Whatever, right? Whatever stuff comes up. And then that third piece is like, okay, and how do I want to feel? Like I've identified how I'm feeling and then shifting into how do I want to feel, right? Well, I want to feel that I have more than enough time. Perfect, right? So it's like, even though I feel like half the month is already gone and I can't make this money, I'm choosing to believe I have more than enough time, right? And so again, all that to say it could be that short and that simple of just checking in. And if daily feels like that's way too crazy, once a week, right? Once a week would be perfect because for so many of us, we're not doing that at all. And just the fact that money is more tense, right? Even if we have a good relationship with it, and even if we feel like we have enough, it still is a tense topic, right? It's so bizarre and the weirdest things can trigger it, right? Like I don't even know what bill it was. Our electricity, I think, was higher this month than I think it's ever been. And so my husband had a moment, like he opened it up and he was like, wow, like this is the highest it's ever been, right? And so it's like, it doesn't mean that we don't have enough or any of that, right? But it's like these weird things can trigger that like oh that like anxiety around money, whether it's opening a bill or just whatever it might be. No worries, Megan, no worries. I have to feed my guys. Totally get it. Have a blessed evening. Thank you for being here, and hopefully you're feeling better after the tapping. So anyway, Cindy, to share that with you is that you can absolutely do this on your own, right? And you can take yourself through that process, and doesn't have to be, and obviously for you, I think it would be super cool if you did it on like your walks, right? Like in the morning or in the evening or whatever, just do a quick check-in and tap while you're walking. That would be like some really major multitasking there. So let me know in the chat, how are you just feeling about money overall right now? Like if you had to fill in this sentence right now, when it comes to money, I'm feeling blank. How is that? What comes up for you? How is money feeling for you? And again, I think also just knowing that this is a practice, right? Which is kind of what I was already saying. So if you're feeling like, okay, well, I feel better, but I'm not yet quite where I want to be, allowing yourself to be in spaces, right, where you can be supported with this. And in fact, I'll share, I think it's the next one. Feeling more open to it. Beautiful, beautiful, right? And even just something as simple as like combining the tapping with the I'm wealthy because, right? Because again, it's sometimes can feel super uncomfortable to take ourselves to like through that resistance, but you can absolutely also use tapping just for the positives. So you can literally say like, gosh, I'm wealthy because the sun is shining, right? I'm wealthy because I have clothes on my back. I'm wealthy because I had a delicious meal today, right? Like just, oh my gosh, like that, if you just did that, I'm like taking my own advice here. I'm like, wow, if I just did that every day, that would be so profound and so helpful. Jackie says, allowing my thoughts to filter after tapping. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it can feel like a little discombobulating, right? Like, oh gosh, it's sometimes like I just need to process things after I tap. That was me yesterday, by the way. I had such a huge tapping aha moment that like I just needed to like process and really like sit with everything that came up. So many things to be thankful, right? So many things to be thankful for. Okay, so here's what I want to share with you, because I know a lot of you are, well, a lot of ladies are also going to be watching the replay as well. So the first question I usually get is like, how can I keep doing this, right? Which again, we were just kind of talking about. But if you're somebody who knows you do better with guidance, right? Support, something that walks you through it. I've got 3 different options for you, okay? And they all involve tapping. So, and consistent tapping also. So the first one is the Success membership. This is the place to be if you're on a budget but want support, honestly and truly. Like the community and the women are incredible. And once a month actually we just had our call on Monday. At the beginning of the month, we tune into kind of this exact process. So we set our goals for the month, and then I guide them through tapping around what comes up specifically for them. So this is great for like ongoing consistent, because we literally do it every single month, rain or shine. Cindy says, yes, it is so good. She's in there. It's amazing. It's pretty, like, I feel like it's one of the best kept secrets out there. So the second thing is tapping into money. So this is going to be perfect if you just want to stay in that energy, right? So when I created this one, it's the most recent tapping course. It's not really a course though. It's like guided tapping audios. It's the most recent one I created. It's all about literally elevating with money and feeling safe with money. So we talk about 6 figures. We talk about more clients. We talk about more abundance. We talk about forgiveness. We talk about receiving. It's just a really, really, really good foundation one that you can go back to again and again and again. And so they're just shorter audios that you can literally tap along with, but they help you get into that nitty gritty. They help you go where we can't always take ourselves, right? Oftentimes it's hard for us to do that. And then the third option, which I'm so freaking jazzed about this is a brand new offer. It's called Elevate with Tapping. And so what this is you get one private one-on-one tapping session with me every single month for 6 months. I mean, think of like what we just covered here in a group setting, like the fact that we get to dive into you and your unique stuff. And by the way, this does not have to be around money. It absolutely can, but it can be about anything that's coming up for you. So it could be life, it could be business, it could be relationships, it could be something different every month. But what I have found is that having that consistent tapping practice, and again, that's why I wanted to like give you different levels at different options, whether it's, you come in and tap with me every month in a group setting with the other amazing women, whether you tap by yourself, but almost have me there if you're like listening with your earbuds through the tapping into money, or if you really want me to help you dive in and figure out, what's keeping you from your goals or from feeling your best, we can also do that too. So I wanted to share that because I know I'm going to get questions on, okay, well, now what's my next step? What do I do next? So I will be sending out a replay because I know a lot of you ladies weren't able to be on live, which is totally okay. I'm so happy that you'll be able to have access to the replay. I will also include the links to all 3 of these in case any of them are speaking to you. And if you decide to do any of them within 24 hours from now, you're actually going to get a free 20-minute tapping session with me. So one-on-one custom tapping session to dive into a topic of your choice. So I just want to thank you so much for being here. Remember, I just want you to leave this feeling really good, really empowered, and remembering that you can literally tap back into the energy of feeling wealthy at any moment. Any moment, and especially those moments when we're not feeling wealthy and it does not feel like things are going well, that's when we need it the most, right? Taking a few minutes, closing your eyes, connecting, and really just giving gratitude for all the amazing things in your life already. All right, ladies, thank you so much for being here. I hope that this was helpful for you. I love tapping with you. Jackie says, thank you, Amy. I fell off her, but it's okay. It is, if you mean about with tapping, there are times I have fallen off with tapping and then I like teach it and preach it. trust me, it's okay. But I will say every time I come back and I jump back on the bandwagon, I start to feel the shifts and just the opportunities like immediately. Like it is so wild. So let this be the catalyst for you to jump back in and to start this process, whether it's on your own or, taking the next steps with one of the options I have. So thank you for being here, ladies. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I will be sending out the replay soon in case you want to go back just to the tapping part. That would be wonderful as well. And or if you want to jump into one of these offers and grab the 20-minute session with me. All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye.